I honestly, I feel so sorry for whoever keeps trying to knock you down. I'm just like, and I don't think it's like anybody specific. I wouldn't say it's like someone specific is trying to knock you down. I think it's just like the matrix itself, or something just trying to keep you in that low vibrational state. And there's nothing wrong with being in that state. I feel like we make it so negative. Like it's okay to be there, but not to reside in it. And like I feel like this is how I see being in like low vibration, and then how I see being in a high vibration. It's like having an upstairs and like a downstairs. And let's say like the downstairs is where, that's where that low vibrational is, where you get time to really reflect on everything that's holding you down. Because whenever you're in a low vibration, I feel like you're able to see a lot more. Like we say that when you're in a high vibration, you're learning a lot, but I really think it's just like the darkest times is where you learn the most. It's extremely windy out here. And don't mind my voice, I literally like survived like the worst cold I've ever been through. That's why I started the video like that. Like, I feel so sorry for things that try to knock you down, because I feel like with this cold that I just went through was like the biggest purging session of my entire life. Like, I literally feel like it was such like a huge purging. Like, things that have been holding me back. They're gonna get really loud. Give me a second. Sometimes I feel like I should record through those, because maybe it's like a confirmation noise that what I'm saying is correct to you. Here, I'm gonna adjust this a little bit more. And I think that's why I look so drained and so tired, because I want to say literally yesterday and today have been like the first days of like what feels like months of finally feeling okay, like finally feeling good. And I think it's just from like the cold that I just had. And it was like, I think it was like a whole week. I think it was 7 days, or probably a little bit more than 7 days, that I have been feeling like total crap. Probably the last time I uploaded a video, which I think was like 10 or 11 days ago. But then I realized, I was like, the spring equinox is literally about to, I think, be either tomorrow or the next day, where the portal opens. And I'm not exactly sure what's gonna happen, but I think that's like maybe the magic of it. But I think every single time spring has come, it's been like this like reawakening, and it's like not this like rebirth, because I feel like rebirths are probably the toughest things to get through, because I feel like through the rebirth you start realizing like, holy shit, like I've been healing, but I have to feel a lot more things. Like the work that you've been doing has been phenomenal, has been insane. How much work you've done to yourself, and how much you've grown, and how much you're continue to learn how strong you're getting. Like, before these types of like illnesses, right, or these types of like feelings of not feeling well, used to knock me on my ass like really really bad. Like it used to ruin my whole mood, like all day, every single day that I had it. And at least with this one, I try to be really strong, and I try to just like feel everything, because I'm not sure why, and I always try to refer to who I'm talking to as a collective, but then I remember like I'm making these videos for me to really look back on and see like how much you've grown. But I also have to admit that sometimes it is for a collective because I am posting it. So sometimes I have this feeling of like speaking to myself directly and then speaking to the collective. And I think whenever I speak to the collective, it's like giving the collective a chance to be like, oh man, like I felt the same way. Kind of like a moment of reflection, or a moment of like, holy shit, like we are pretty much mirrors to each other. Because when someone is feeling or going through something, I'm going through something too, and I'm not even sure where it's coming from or like what it is. But these past few days have probably been like some of the toughest times I think I've had to go through, because not only was I like not feeling well, but it was also, it felt like purging through so much. Like past memories were really coming like really strong, like to the point that I was like, I thought we moved through this. I thought we felt this already. I felt like we've already healed through this. And sometimes I forget that things that you've worked through come through to really show you how much you've grown. And I feel like I still have a lot of stuff to forgive myself for, because I feel like I could have been farther in life. I could have been, somewhere different. And if I had just known what I know now. Like sometimes I always feel like, man, I wish I could like turn back time and like tell myself that like self-love is a lot more important than you think. Because all of my life I literally did everything to give everyone the love that I wanted back. Because I was like, well, if I give them that love that I want back, then I'm gonna get it back, right? Because that's how the universe works. Whatever you put out, you get back in. So I was like, if I give somebody else this unconditional love that I feel like I deserve and I need, then it's gonna come back to me, right? But you have to remember is that everyone in your life has like a different love language and a different way that they show love. And the way that they show love isn't the way that you might want to feel it. Because like for me, my like self-love is like spending time in nature, like taking care of myself, self-care, um relaxing, buying things that I would like to buy. But I've become very like annoyed with how much stuff I have, that to the point that I'm just like moving things out of the way. Like I'm just like have passed through that phase already of needing to buy things to make me happy. I feel like as a kid, a young adult, I would say that was very important for me, was to buy things, instant gratification. um, is a real big problem that we have. We go through something really rough, we have a bad day, and we're just like, I need something immediately right now. So usually that could be like doom scrolling, because it gives you some kind of like serotonin, I believe. And it's just like you get really addicted to doom scrolling, especially like on TikTok. Anything that has like reels or like videos and stuff is really, really easy to distract yourself with. And I'm finally noticing that, like, I'm very, very addicted to instant gratification. And I used to always think, like, oh, well, it's because I'm bored, or maybe it's because, well, I had a bad day, so I deserve something really nice and really good. And I don't want to say that you don't deserve good things, but I feel like you can give yourself instant gratification in different forms. But I feel like when you give yourself instant gratification, it doesn't last very long. So what I mean by that is, like, when you doom scroll, yeah, you feel really good at the very moment, but then afterwards you're just like, man, like, I don't feel that happy from what I've just done. Like, looked at all these videos and interacted with all these posts, and, like, let's say, like, you order fast food, and, like, I would say that's instant gratification because you feel really good while ordering it. Like, you're like, I need it, I deserve it. And then you get it and you're just like, oh my gosh, this feels so good to just, eat this instantly. But then afterwards, for some reason, sometimes you don't feel that great afterwards. You're just like, man, was that really worth it? Was that really worth getting that? And then you're just like, what else can I do? Like, what else? How can I make myself happy through these rough times, through these, like, really hard times? Like, what can I do to make myself happy? And I think one of the things that I have noticed that makes me really happy after, like, feeling sick is, like, giving myself permission to finally rest. Even though, like, yes, you've rested all of this time while you were sick, and I just saw 12/12. Like, yes, you've given yourself enough, like, time to relax through this sickness, but you also have to remember that that was like a forced relaxation. Like, you had no choice but to lay in bed. So I think afterwards, I always really try to give myself that, like, time of, I'm gonna lay down and relax because I deserve it, because I have just gone through something that I didn't even think I could survive. And going out in nature has been a really big one too, especially now because it feels so beautiful out here. It just gives you time to just be in the moment and breathe and, like, really take a step back and like, congratulate yourself for how far you've come and how much you've done. Because I feel like working a 9 to 5, you can literally, like, turn your brain off while doing that. So it's not really like a job, it's not really that hard. Even if it's like physical labor, like, that after that physical labor, you're gonna go out and do something that makes you happy. Like, doing these things, like, working is really, really tough for me, mainly because it's like, I feel like, why am I here when I could be doing something for myself? Like, why am I helping this big corporation, like, be successful, right? When I could be at home and, like, making myself feel good, cleaning the house, um, listening to my favorite music, eating my favorite food, like, doing stuff for me that's always been, like, the top priority for me, is, like, feeling really good. Because I feel like everyone deserves to feel really, really good. Like, that moment where you're just like, for me, I just feel really, really good right now. And I think that's when we get, like, the most inspiration. That's when we're connected the most. And I feel like we really don't take advantage of feeling good. We feel like we should only feel good some days, but life should be really hard. when in reality, life should be extremely simple and extremely easy and just feel good. Because, like, yes, there's moments in time where, like, you're gonna have to do something to get out of your comfort zone, and sometimes that uncomfortableness is needed, I would say. And I'm at that point where I'm just like really frustrated. And I would say like frustrated because I feel like I don't give myself enough time to have these moments to feel good. Because I'm so like wrapped into my comfort zone. And it feels like every single time I want to take a step out of my comfort zone, it's like something wraps me in this like really warm blanket. And it's just like, no, like you spent so much time wanting to be in this comfort zone and have this. Like everything that you've ever dreamed of is right here. You know, like a comfortable bed, a quiet environment, a safe environment, a beautiful environment. Like you've prayed and you prayed and you prayed for this. So it feels like stepping out of what you prayed for is like a spit to the universe, right? But in reality, it's like you have to understand and you have to feel within your body when your body is telling you that your comfort zone is no longer a place of comfort, but it's like a place of restriction and a place of you're not really going to grow anymore. You've already done so much growth in this area that it's time to move on. And I have that feeling of it's time to move on and it's time to go somewhere. Like, life needs to be more than this. There needs to be more to life than this. There must be more to life than this. Than than fearing and being like, I have to go to work. I have to do this. I have to do that. When in reality, I'm just like, I don't feel this. Like, I don't know if people are just so comfortable at work that they just continue to do work, or if they know that I have to pay my bills, so I have to go. I don't really have a choice in there, right? So there's like that group of mixture of I'm really comfortable here and I have a very comfortable life. So I'm just going to stay here and not really grow, right? Or I have to stay at this job because I have to pay all my bills kind of feeling, you know? Sorry, my cat is messing with the wasp and I'm really hoping that she's going to be okay. I think that's the only downside of this. Like the springtime is like wasps really come out and we come out here all the time and like I don't want to mess with the wasp. Like I don't want to like ruin their homes because I know that they work really hard on their homes. But at the same time it's like how can we coexist without hurting each other? Mainly because I just saw a documentary on wasps and they're very intelligent. And I know that a lot of people know that they're very intelligent. But sometimes I forget how intelligent insects are. So I always try not to mess with them. So for the most part, I think they stopped messing with each other. So my cat is okay. Um, I have, I still see a good amount of angel numbers, but I see more signs now than angel numbers. Like when I come out here, I see crows, butterflies, dragonflies, um, dandelions. I really take everything as a sign now, but like I see a lot more rainbows now, like either in real life or the show that I'm watching talks about rainbows, or the video that I'm watching, they see a rainbow, and it's like I'm seeing a lot of rainbows and a lot of like something about hope. I feel like there's a lot of signs of hope in the air. Like if you're holding on to like this tiniest amount of hope, hold on to it like your life depends on it. Like I feel like right now, like I looked at my transit chart and I don't exactly remember which planets I have in my eighth house, well, passing through my eighth house. I don't remember which ones. I think I remember a couple, which was the sun and my true node, I believe. But there's like, I think 5 or 6 planets that are moving through my eighth house right now. And if you don't understand what that means, anytime that planets go through your eighth house, it's really a time of like transformation. It's gonna be a little uncomfortable, but it's gonna be needed. Um, and I kind of kept looking, and they kind of stay there like the rest of the year. So whenever I read that this year was going to be about transformation and about growth, um, I kind of underestimated it. I kind of thought, well, that's not going to be that uncomfortable. Like, I'm going to be able to make it through. But it's been pretty tough. But after every single, like, storm that I go through, any physical storm, health storm, um, spiritual storm, my goodness, I feel like such a different person afterwards. Like, I feel like, wow, I didn't know I was that strong to make it through. Every single time I'm like, oh my gosh, how did I make it through? How did I get through this? And it feels like I'm starting to like kind of recognize these patterns that whenever like old thoughts come through, it's either purging season, you gotta let that go, or two, it's time to reflect and see how far you've gotten. I saw 222 or 2222 because my gosh, these purging moments are extremely tough, like extremely tough. And one thing that I actually read about or that I listened to, I don't know if you listen to Infinite Waters. Oh, sorry, a wasp just touched me. It scared me. Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I don't know if you listen to Infinite Waters, Ralph Smart, but I've been listening to him on and off for about like almost 10 years, I believe. Like sometimes I always forget that he makes videos, and then other times like I run into his videos and I'm just like, oh my god, like that's exactly what's happening, and that's exactly how I feel. And being the first person, I would say, like in my family, um, that is finally like slowing down and like listening to their feelings and like feeling through all of this, it's really hard to who to look for. You know, like I don't really have any examples to look for and like to see like, oh well they did this when they were going through their purging season. I'm really just depending on the universe sending me the right information and the right people that are going through the same thing or that have gone through the same thing, and kind of get different perspectives of things, and that the way that you're feeling right now is okay, and that it's really tough but you're not alone, and that if you have any amount of hope that you can hold on to it, like your life depends on it, because some of these some of these storms, some of these purging moments, and I don't know if we've gone through like the worst of the worst. You know, if these 3 months were gonna be like the worst months of purging, or if we still have more purging to do. But I feel like even if something does come out in the future of purging, I feel like we've gotten so strong to the point that we're just like, purging moment. You can't do anything about it but ride the wave, but just go through it. You know, there's no point in fighting through that storm when you have to go through it, which is something that I'm learning, which is like if it's purging season, there's nowhere you can run because the battle, the storm that you're going through is inside of you. So the only places that you have to run is just to distractions. Oh, the thing that I was talking about, Ralph Smart, Infinite Waters. He was talking about how people in the Matrix get paid to distract you. And for some reason, that just blew my mind because I never really saw it that way. I just saw it as them exchanging, their happiness for money, or like they're exchanging something for money. That's what I was like thinking in my head. But I never saw it in that perspective of they're paying them that much money to distract you. Like, have you thought of like obviously the president and stuff and how ridiculous of amount of money they make for acting so ridiculous? Like, you're not even allowed to act like that at work. Like, if you were to act like the president at work, you would get fired immediately. And it's so funny to think. It's not funny. It's like really sad that a lot of people really believe in politics and like the president and stuff because it's just so ridiculous to the point that it's like, is no one seeing this? Is no one seeing how ridiculous this is? Like, there's moments where I'm just like looking around and I'm just like, people are talking. Like, I don't really hang out with people that talk about politics, but when you're at work and stuff, you're in this like melting pot of thoughts. So there's a lot of like vibrations in this area. And that's why I feel like I'm really outgrowing where I work right now because it's just like everyone is like really low vibrational there. They they really fall into fear mongering very very easily, and like they talk about distractions all of the time, and I'm just like, I've never been the kind of person that has held any celebrity on a pedestal or thought, well, because this person is making this much money, they must be better than me. I've never thought that in my entire life. And I would say, like, there were moments in time where I would think that when it came to art, because I always thought, well, I want to be an artist and I want to be very successful. And then you start seeing how ridiculous some things are. Like, and I think, honestly, now that I think about it, they do this as a way of like tearing down artists because they know how vital artists are and how vital your creativity is. And if you don't use it, then it's gonna get passed on to someone else. But you can never miss what's meant for you. But sometimes when you get inspiration and you're just like, no, I just saw someone tape a banana onto a canvas and make $1 million. Like, I don't want this inspiration anymore. And you kind of like, and I think maybe that's why you should really stay off social media, like any type of social media, because yes, it's beautiful to see different inspirations and different people be very inspired by their creativity, but sometimes if you're not healed from comparison, if you're not healed from comparing yourself in different forms, then it's going to be really really bad for you. It's not going to benefit you to look at social media at all. So that's what I'm detoxing from social media. It's been about 7 days. I think it's been about 7 days since I've been on social media at all. Like, and I feel so much better. Like, I'm not like comparing myself to anybody. I'm not like saying, man, well, I'm not that great of an artist because I'm not creating that. I'm not making that much money. Which sometimes it's really easy to get into that mode of man, why am I creating if I'm not making money? Like, why am I creating if it's not making a life for me? If that makes sense. Sorry, there's a lot of noise, so it's kind of hard to remember what I'm talking about. But maybe it's time to move on from that and talk about something else. Oh yeah, I was talking about art and stuff and just really getting out of social media and like not really giving any more energy to these distractions because I feel like I used to be really good at giving my energy to distractions. Like, I used to, like, if I'm gonna be extremely vulnerable right now, like, if I were to go back maybe like 2 weeks ago on like my screen time, it would probably be like 8 hours, 9 hours of screen time, and it's like the majority of the time is like Facebook, uh, TikTok. Yeah, I would say those two were like my top time wasters, time like biggest distractions. And just because I deleted them off my phone doesn't mean that I like deactivated my accounts or anything because I have a lot of like videos and stuff on like on Facebook and YouTube that I don't want to get rid of. Which I'm not saying like go and deactivate all your accounts, but like make sure that you're really minimizing like the amount of time that you're on your phone. I would say today my screen well these like this past 7 days my screen time has been like max an hour at the most an hour on my phone. And I'm so happy to say that like I feel so amazing from like not like falling into all these distractions because the more they distract the collective, the more they pay them. Pay attention to that. Like pay attention to how much they pay politics and how many people are like distracted by politics. How many people are distracted by like football, basketball, um, like celebrity drama. You know, like try to find out who is the highest paid person, you know, celebrity, right? And see how much they distract the collective. Like, just take a moment and see how much they distract the collective. And you're gonna be like, wow. So, if you distract the collective, then you're gonna get paid a lot. I don't think that's really the case, because I feel like now getting into that age of Aquarius, we're gonna start seeing like very spiritual people kind of I wouldn't say like being up there in like the highest pay, right? But they're gonna get paid really well because they're spreading this information that like it's time. Like it's time to start waking up. It's time to start feeling everything that we've been neglecting to feel. Like it's time to step into your real power. It's time to like it's time to it's time. It's time to get out of your comfort zone because we've been in our comfort zone for a really long time now. I would say I've been in my comfort zone for about 6, 7 years now. Yeah, I would say that's like my comfort zone. But like I've gradually like gotten out of my comfort zone. I feel like with our previous move, that was probably a time of uncomfortableness because there was a lot of purging that I've done. Like it felt like the moment I left my old place, it's like purging session was like a whole year and not like spiritual years, but like human years. It was like a whole year of purging. It was like the best 34, 34 I just saw, but like it was the best and worst time of my entire life. But now it feels like the amount of the amount that it takes is shorter, but the amount of things that happens in the same span. So it's like yes, that year was really, really tough, but everything was spanned out into a year. But now it feels like you're going through the same purging moments, but it's not getting spread out that beautifully anymore. It's like you're going through this whole purging session that feels like a whole year within 2 weeks. So it's been really tough, and it's been really, really, really hard to get through these moments. And I hope you're okay. I know you're okay because I know how strong you are. I know how strong you're becoming through these purging moments. So I know you're okay. I know you're gonna be okay. Because if I feel like I'm getting stronger, I know you're getting stronger. Because I originally thought that I was gonna get like max 1 view on all of these videos, because that was like really my plan, was like just one view is enough, because that's just me, or like a few views, just me reflecting on different times of myself and seeing how much I've grown and how much like self-confidence I'm getting in myself. Because whenever I'm like speaking here, sometimes I feel like just speaking with my eyes closed, because what it feels like, it's like I'm talking through my higher self. Like my higher self is talking to the camera, and I'm going to be watching this video later on and be like, wow, I really needed to hear that. That was really, really, that's really true. That's, you're really strong now. Like, we have gone through so much, and we deserve to get paid for doing this. Like, we deserve to get paid. Like, we need to get into that feeling of, I deserve to get paid for all of my hard work. Like, yes, it's not a 9 to 5, but we're getting out of that mentality of a 9 to 5 is the only thing that supports your life. When a 9 to 5 doesn't support you spiritually, it may support you financially for a while, because just because you work that 9 to 5 for 30, 40 years, right? It's not, that's not going to support you all your life. There's going to be moments in time where you're going to be like, wow, I think I have to go back to work. So it's not even going to be worth it at the end. You're going to be like, I gave all of my energy to this 9 to 5 job for what? You're going to feel very dissatisfied. And that's how I've been feeling. I've been feeling very dissatisfied with my 9 to 5. Even though I'm not working that much hours, like even having to go in for 4 hours is exhausting. It's so exhausting. So mentally exhausting. And like, I feel so drained afterwards, but at the same time, I have to remember that like, I'm still learning from the job. Like, I'm still learning of like, not not hiding myself, because I'm really good at like making myself feel unsafe in different environments. Like, if I'm in a new environment, I make myself very small, but then I realize it. Before, like, I have to give myself props. Before, I didn't even know what I was doing. I didn't even know I was doing that. And now I've come to that time where I'm like, man, I now realize that I'm making myself small. I'm forgiving myself for making myself small. I'm like forgiving myself and saying it's okay. There's no need to just be so tough on yourself, because realizing it is the biggest step. And now learning how to step into your real power and step into just love, and know that you can be yourself and you can be safe. You can be yourself. It's safe to be yourself everywhere you go. Even if yourself is just sitting there in silence and not forcing yourself to speak nonsense. Sometimes I'm really good at doing that, of coming home after a day with friends, or coming home after a day of like doing something, and I'm just like, man, I wasn't very aware of what I was saying today. maybe next time we're going to be a little bit more aware, be more conscious of what we say. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it. I think now I'm just going to sit here and meditate. Yeah. And just feel a lot better. Because I love sitting out here and meditating. Even though the sun's like really, really, really tough. I wish I had like a little curtain or something to put right here. Because that sun is very, very tough right now. Very rough. And I don't have that much shade to sit in, but we're going to be protecting ourselves. We're going to be protecting our skin in a little bit from the sun. But other than that, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to say, because I've been like, I think before I got sick, I was like, I'm gonna make a video because I think I was like, man, it's been like 2 days since making a video. I feel like making one, because if you remember, I said that if I see carrots or I hear carrots or anything, then it's a reminder that this, whatever you're thinking, I feel like now I'm getting used to, like, when I hear carrots or see carrots, to be like very aware of my thoughts at that moment and be like, what am I thinking of? Is this going to be a message for the collective? Is this something I need to write down? Or is this a moment of reflection of, this is something we're going to be talking about when we make our video? And then I got really, really sick, and then I was like, man, how long is it going to be between my video and now? But I think maybe it's a really good time to see how much I've changed within those 10 days. Like, 10 days doesn't seem like that much, but it feels like it's been years. And I'm like, I can't believe, like, I can't wait to see how much I've changed and how much I'm growing. Because before I would be so scared of change and so scared of growth that anytime I got any feelings of the past or any feelings that felt uncomfortable, I really distracted myself from them. I did everything to distract myself, and now I'm not distracting myself anymore. I'm like sitting here and sitting with my thoughts, reflecting on it, which seems like you're not doing anything, right? Sometimes I'm like, man, if someone were to look at my life right now, they'd be like, wow, they're so lucky they don't get to do shit. But in reality, it's like, man, I wish that was true. I wish I wasn't doing shit right now. Having to work through these feelings and feel through these feelings has been extremely tough. And if you're going through the same thing, I'm sending you so much love, because this is not for the weak. This is not easy. So next time you're like, man, I don't have the feeling of working, or maybe you're not working at the moment, don't beat yourself up and say, I'm not doing anything. You're doing a lot. You're doing a lot. Even if you just survive that day, surviving that day is already a huge accomplishment. Because there were days where you didn't think you were going to survive. So even having days where you're just like, I survived today. Confirmation from the universe. Big ol' wins. You're doing so much better than you think. You're doing so amazing, and I'm so proud of you. And I love you so much. Like, I'm so proud of you for getting through those moments. Like, that was really tough. I didn't think we were gonna make it, but we're here on the other side and feeling amazing, feeling so strong. And we gotta remind ourselves, when we make ourselves really tiny, we gotta remind ourselves, I've been through hell and back. I'm not making myself small for anybody, for anything, for anything. In fact, I'm going to make myself bigger. I'm going to take up more space. I'm going to be loud if I want to be loud. I'm going to voice my opinion when I feel like when I need to voice my opinion. And I'm going to relax when I feel like relaxing. And I'm going to do things that make me feel good because I deserve to feel good all the time. I love you. Stay strong. I know you're going to stay strong because you've been through so much that I know. I know you've got this. I know. Oh man, I'm so excited. Like, I want to say in the beginning of the year, I was like, man, this is going to be really easy. We've gotten confirmations that we're going to be okay and that everything's going to work out. I need to figure out what sign and what number is telling me, like, hold on. Hold on, girlfriend. This is going to be a rough ride. I need to figure out which number is that. So I know, like, okay, time to hold on. Time for this purging season. Time to feel all of my feelings. Time to feel angry. It's okay to be angry. I feel like that's one of the emotions I'm most scared of. I feel like a lot of people are scared of their sadness. Um, I'm mainly scared from my anger because I've been through so much that I feel like I want to get really, really angry. And I don't know how to feel this anger. I haven't found a good coping mechanism for this anger. So, wish me luck. We're going to be moving through a lot of anger and really slowing down because I feel like anger makes you go really fast, make harsh decisions. Sometimes it makes you make impulsive decisions, say impulsive things that you don't mean. So sometimes anger is really a tough emotion to go through. It's like fire. You know, you set it down for a little bit, or you feel it a little bit. Sometimes it spreads, sometimes it gets bigger than you think. So, you're gonna go through a lot of anger purging. So, I know you're ready. I'm not gonna say that I hope you're ready. I know you're ready. You've gone through so much that I know you're ready. And trust me, whenever you purge out this anger, you're gonna feel so much better. You're gonna feel so much lighter, and you're not gonna have resentment for life anymore. You're not gonna have resentment for the people around you that only want the best for you. You're gonna be okay. I know. You've got this. You're strong enough for this. I can't wait to see your next video and see where you're at and how much you've been through. And don't feel forced to put a video out. Sometimes I'm always like, man, it's been this long. It's been this long. I gotta make a video. I gotta make a video. And now I'm like, you know what? Whenever I get this urge, I'm gonna start trying to feel my body, try to feel the energy. Whenever I get this urge of making this video, I'm just gonna come out here because there's nothing perfect that you can say. There's not a script that I write to say any of this. I just come out here and I just start talking because I feel like it just all flows out perfectly. And that when I'm in this energy of feeling good, that the inspiration just comes. It really does just come. But I love you, and I can't wait to see how much you grow. You've been through so much. You're strong enough for this. I know you are. I love you. Bye.